a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
With those words, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. emerged from the 1963 March on Washington as one of America's preeminent civil rights leaders. His speech not only stirred the thousands of march attendees, it echoed across the nation and the world.
It's self-evident that all men are created equal.
During the 60s and late 50s, this country was again to be split in two, black versus white, haves versus the have-nots, and it was Dr. King who said we could live together as brothers. But it transcends America, and that Dr. King's message really is international. No matter where you go in the world today, if there is unrest and unjust, people lock arms and start singing, "We shall overcome."
One of the march attendees was a 16-year-old Milwaukeean, Geraldine McGowan.
I was in the National Council of Negro Women, the Youth Council, and we were asked to sell lapel badges in the street to raise funds for the March on Washington. I was 16, I think about 40 or 50 went to Washington, D.C., and we stayed in Mount Carmel Baptist Church, 6 blocks from the White House.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed.
I remember that speech that Dr. King spoke about his dream, and I was just burning inside. Didn't know how to express myself, but we were so happy. We were jumping for glee because we never heard anything like that before. That's the first time I ever heard anything of that magnitude before. And to me, he was a hero.
And so 48 years later, she went back to D.C. with a busload of Wisconsinites to celebrate the dedication of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial on the National Mall. The trip was sponsored by the Ambassadors for Peace program and the Maricopa Coalition for Social Justice. Saturday's arrival in D.C. gave the Milwaukee contingent time to participate in the reenactment march and protest for jobs and economic equality. The group also met with Congresswoman Gwen Moore of Milwaukee's 4th Congressional District.
That Milwaukee and your constituents support you 100%.
That's right.
Take a message back to our president.
All right.
That we're not going to give in or give up.
That's right.
Absolutely. We're going to pass that jobs bill. How are we going to pass the jobs bill? Yeah. Okay. Now, she was here. She's 16 years old. Come over here and take a picture.
All right.
Come on, girlfriend.
Go ahead on. Go ahead on.
For without you and what we have collectively done together, we would not be able to participate in this truly one of the greatest moments in our history.
On Sunday, Milwaukeeans joined thousands of other citizens for the official dedication. Hosted by PBS's Gwen Eiffel and with live coverage from C-SPAN and many other cable networks, attendees listened for hours to an array of speakers and performers.
We marched through the streets yesterday in Washington. We gave one message: you will not undo the King dream. You will not take away the Voting Rights Act.
And as the choir sang, 2 American families made their way to the stage through the memorial.
In this place, he will stand for all time. Among monuments to those who fathered this nation and those who defended it, a black preacher, no official rank or title, who somehow gave voice to our deepest dreams and our most lasting ideals. And finally, there are the multitudes of men and women whose names never appear in the history books, those who marched and those who sang, those who sat in and those who stood firm, those who organized and those who mobilized, all those men and women who through countless acts of quiet heroism helped bring about changes few thought were even possible. By the thousands, said Dr. King, faceless, anonymous, relentless young people, black and white, have taken our whole nation back to those great wells of democracy which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the formulation of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. To those men and women, to those foot soldiers for justice, know that this monument is yours as well.
I feel uplifted and inspired to have, and very honored to have been around the same time as this great international hero. I feel very good. People are getting together, we have the same problems, and we're expressing our problems, trying to do something about it. I'm very inspired again, and go back and teach my grandkids more because I've learned more.
With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.